Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Dr. Nasser Shake Show. I'm your guest host for today. My name is Dr. Nasser, and if we got something great on tap for you today, folks, our continuing debate series from Vice on Black Americans, liberal conservatives versus Black conservatives. What are their thoughts and opinions on the political aspect, social, media, all kinds of things? And we're going to get into that in the next few seconds. But before we do so, we just want to let you know, please subscribe to our channel, hit that notification bell, like, share, and follow us. And above all, comment below. Let us know what you think. Let's get to part two of Black conservatives versus Black liberals.
The wokies is what I call them. These are the people that are woker than you can ever be. But the wokies give the white liberals of the left this space to tell a Black person how to be Black and how you are supposed to experience Blackness and how you're supposed to think as a Black person. Who here voted for Barack Obama? Damn near everybody. Well, no. Twice.
Campaign for him in 08.
Both terms.
So did I.
He had a great campaign. I just didn't vote for him.
A semi-personal question. Did anyone vote for him just because he was Black?
Not just, but that was a big reason I voted for him.
See, I'll admit, it's really funny because I'm a conservative. And I will admit that I voted for Barack Obama in 2008 purely because he was Black.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'll admit that.
And I did too.
You know, I'll admit it. And the reason why I voted for him is because I was so open to and so available to be used by all of the systems that made that person president, right? And for all of the systems that were promoted to me, this idea that just because he is biracial, African American, whatever you want to call it, that he is going to somehow have my best interests at heart, that he somehow comes from the same experience that I did.
No
Barack
idea.
Obama did not come from the same experience as me. Let me tell you something. I grew up Black and poor in Akron, Ohio. Okay, this person was born and raised in wealth and privilege his entire life. And the idea that this person was somehow more connected to me because we share the same skin color is crazy.
Yep.
But I bought it, and it was sold to me. I bought it.
Yep.
You know what? I love this guy here. I mean, obviously he's conservative, but he is just, I mean, first of all, he's dominating the conversation. You know, whenever you see any of these debates, it's so, just to see the nuances play out, in terms of who's really speaking out to the issues, who's almost the center where the entire conversation is sort of gravitating around that person, and he or she is the one that's sort of controlling the conversation, or at least putting in some very, very nice points, and then everybody else seems to be on the periphery and and trying to get their points in. They do, but he just basically came out and said, look, he admits it. And you know what, if somebody comes out and says, why do you think people were voting for white candidates all the time? Well, first of all, there were only white candidates before, obviously, but people can say that's what we were voting for. But if you say you were voting for somebody because he was white, oh, you're gonna get blowback like crazy, folks. Absolutely, you're gonna get blowback like crazy. He comes out and says he was sold a bill of goods. Barack Obama was basically everything, right? That's what it was, that you internalize that. That's how they wanted you to feel. That's how the advertising and everything was portrayed in terms of the makeup of Barack Obama. And like you said, they were sold a bill of goods. Let's continue.
And I made that same mistake in 08. I voted for him mainly because he was a Black man.
Same mistake.
I made same mistake. It was a mistake, definitely. Yeah, and 8 years later, the mistake, that's one reason why I'm conservative now, because I said when I was young, more naive, I was willing to vote for somebody because of the way they look. And look what it did for me. Absolutely nothing. So I make sure next time I make a vote, it's going to be with some substance. It's going to make sure somebody's going to have what they're saying and what their actions is going to make me cause their vote. And that's why I voted for
before we move forward, by show of hands, who is disappointed with the Barack Obama presidency?
I'm disappointed with president. I'm disappointed with all of them.
Everybody except one person voted for Barack Obama. This was the only person that didn't vote. And now almost everybody basically, saying that they didn't like that vote that they cast for Barack Obama.
I can talk about a couple of things. I can talk about a couple of things, right?
Sure.
We put a black face on a white imperialist nation and expected that change was going to happen.
This guy's a total Marxist, a total socialist. We put a black face on a white imperialist nation. Why don't you just go then? If this is such an imperialist nation, it's putting you under so much. Why are you staying here in this imperialist white nation that's subjugating you and everything that you ever do?
My grandmother, my ancestors, especially my grandmother, my grandfather, they were sold that that was what the American dream was supposed to look like, that a black man could come in this country, that black people could come from chattel slavery and achieve the highest position in the land. Unfortunately, the way that these systems of oppression work, especially K through 12, we're often taught that leadership, what's gonna lead black people to liberation is gonna come from a white man. And so like when we then had a black face up there, it really felt like, we really close. Like we really close. But then it was a lot of unlearning that a lot of us had to do, a lot of unlearning that we all still currently have to do to understand that our oppression, where our oppression came from, and the fact that like we're never going to be led to liberation in a binary system. A binary system for black people is literally always going to be us choosing the lesser of two evils, no matter how you slice it or dice it. Whether it's a Republican in office, whether it's a Democrat in office, I'm always choosing my death either as a blunt force blow or death by 1,000 paper cuts. And it tends why I guess in general black people always lean Democratic is because that death is by 1,000 paper cuts, as opposed to what I'm dealing with right now, where I'm watching HIV funding being stripped as a black queer HIV positive person, where I'm watching trans people losing all of their rights in this country as an LGBTQ person.
What rights are trans people losing?
Yeah, good question. Yeah, I'm curious about that myself.
So you want to respond? No, I'm serious too.
I'll go for it. I can take it. I can take it. I'll gladly take it. So we can start with, in 2017, the Office of National AIDS Policy was taken away. There is no more Office of National AIDS Policy. Transgender women, including especially black trans people, are the highest infected people of HIV in this country, including black MSMs. So you had that office taken away. You then have had where $586 million was removed from the Ryan White Fund and transferred for the border separations. Ryan White money is what pays for people to have HIV care in this country when they cannot afford it. That includes transgender people. You have where 7 words were removed from the CDC funding, including vulnerable, transgender, and scientific base. So now companies that supported trans rights and trans people can't write grants to get money to help that particular demographic. You have the transgender military ban. When I say that they are literally attacking LGBTQ rights, this is not a joke. It is just coming, because it's so much bullshit going on, you just miss that every day these little things are happening. What is actually happening? Because all of these things are happening.
I just wanted to say, it's curious to me, because I'm somebody who's gay as well. I'm gay. I'm not queer. I'm not LGBTQ. I am a gay
so then you can't speak to what I'm speaking to.
No, I can't. And what's so curious to me is that we talk about our community as if everybody that's transgender is infected with HIV or has housing insecurity. As everybody that's gay and lesbian, like black or male,
that's
or
not
whatever.
Even what that's not what I said.
So this is how. So my whole thing is. This is how we speak of the community all the times. Is that we are always some oppressed victim.
Okay, so
let me ask another question. As a gay person, it drives me insane because I fought for LGBT rights when I got arrested at the front of the White House protesting Don't Ask, Don't Tell repeal because I served in the military for 5 years. I grew up poor and black in Akron, Ohio, all right? I went to one of the worst schools in Akron, Ohio. I went to the military, risked my life multiple times, okay, to get every single thing that I have right now. There is no reason that every single black kid on the block can do that same thing.
So before we get into that, we're not going there. We're not going there. We're not going to do that.
I think we should, though. We're going to get to
These ladies here, they're feisty. They're absolutely feisty or whatever. But as I said, right now, the conversation is being really dominated by this gentleman, conservative, to our left, although he is right, and the gentleman to our right who is actually left. Anyways, let's continue. The fireworks.
Get to all these things. So you didn't vote for Donald Trump.
I did not.
What are the issues that you take with the president?
So just really quickly to a point that George said, right? That I feel like the candidates that keep being put up year after year after year keep hardlining us. We're saying we're choosing the lesser of two evils, right? Where I think that it's really important that we see candidates that come from our communities that are talking about, like for me, right? I'm 25 years old. My student loan debt was due on Monday. Still haven't paid that, right? Because don't got the money to pay that right away. So thinking about what are ways that we see people who are experiencing the same thing, who are coming from our community, who also recognize the historical debt that this country has to Black people and to people of color so that we can move forward. So we know that, like, none of us are free unless all of us are free.
Thank you.
So, but
Yeah, this guy's in chains. He's when he leaves this place, he can't go anywhere. He's not free to do anything. He's not free at all. This guy is not free in the United States of America. He's still back in the 1800s. That's his thinking.
when it comes to
I'm free. I don't know what he's talking about. That got nothing to do with me. I'm free.
So you voted for Donald Trump.
You go, girl.
Would you mind telling us why he won your vote in 2016?
At first, I really didn't know much about what Trump was doing. I just knew, okay, it ain't her. So I'm just gonna vote for him. And I was still coming into being a conservative and all of that. And I just got converted to a Christian. I'm looking at my Christian values and I'm growing as a Christian and I'm realizing, wow, you know what I mean? This man is really aligning himself with what we truly believe in, you know? And coming from the South, Charlotte, North Carolina, we're really Christians, you know what I'm saying? Where my people from, you know, everything is based off of that. So I'm not gonna support any party that's gonna support abortion. You know what I'm saying? We just now getting kind of comfortable with homosexuality, you know what I'm saying? And also, you know, it's just like with marriage, you know, divorcing and everybody sleeping with every time thinking Harry, you know, in the South, it ain't like that. So it's like, that's just that foundation of Trump. But now going into the economy. I mean, I'm a businesswoman. I have my own financial consulting company, and seeing what he's been doing to where my taxes are not that high and I'm not paying for what I came from, AKA living off of food stamps and I got family on food stamps that continue to live off of it. And I know, listen, I came from the hood. I was just in the hood yesterday because my cousin just got out of jail, so I went to go see him. So, I mean, this is what I'm around every day. And it's like, my cousins got the same opportunities I got. All they know about is either they're gonna make it in basketball or they're gonna have to just try to get some type of job and make it. I'm like, no, let's start a business of like, let's get this chicken, let's get into real estate, let's do this, that, and the other.
Reform is helping certain people, you know.
It's helping me.
But it's temporary. You know, you have the tax
But
reform.
closing your own business is not
Listen,
temporary.
It's not temporary.
Let me tell you something. I just want to finish my statement.
Sure.
What I'm saying is this, for me, because I was able to step out, and this is a chick who got a felony, who had 5 years probation, who got a felony for grand larceny, which came down from money laundering. So when I say I was doing white collar crime, I was out here in these streets hustling, scamming, please, okay? And so what I did was I made a choice to surrender my life to Jesus and live righteously. And so what he did was he put me in a position to where now I can teach people about finances and how to get out of the illegal game and clean their money the right way, get their credit on point, get into real estate, flip houses, and live a good stewarded life with money. So now I'm taking my cousins who all sell drugs. All of my cousins sell drugs. If they're not playing ball, they selling drugs. And if they in jail, they're getting out to sell drugs because they too old for ball. So all they know how to do is get money. So how do you tell somebody who been getting money all their life, oh, so now I'm about to work a regular job, like get paid and they're gonna take tax out my check, and then they don't even know where their taxes is going, so they just work 40 hours a week. They thinking they about to get a nice little $500 check and say $250. They're like, wait, what? I'm about to go sell drugs again. So now I have to teach them how to get out here in the legal game, and let's flip this money the right way. And again, the taxes that are placed on these businesses can either help us or hurt us. And what Trump is doing is helping me teach my cousins in the hood how to move so that they can get money and not keep busting people upside the head for money or selling drugs to people. These people that are continuously living on welfare, we're paying for it. So the more you're giving them in food stamps, the more you're allowing them to extend their lifestyle in the projects, the more money is coming out of my pocket as a taxpayer, and then now it's hindering my business. Well, now I'm not paying that much taxes, I got more money. So now if I need to say to homie, yo, listen, I got 5 racks, I'm about to invest this into you so we can start working on your business, and if we're gonna let the money circulate, once it circulates, you can go out on your own. If taxes is taking that money, how can I take that 5 racks and give it to him?
That's part of my problem with Donald Trump is he's
This young lady right here, right here. I'm telling you what, folks. Again, the conversation was really being dominated by this gentleman over here and this gentleman over here. And look at him. He's just so he's just hearing it because all this guy's interested is talking about his LGBTQ IAMOUSE Mickey Mouse. Hey, by the way, how's Disney working out, pal? Down in Florida. Go Ron DeSantis. Anyways, I digress. But I mean, she basically told her life story, in like less than a minute, and what she's trying to do to correct it. She's become more religious, and she's trying to help her family. Her family members are either balling, like you said, playing basketball, or trying to be playing basketball, or selling drugs, or doing all kinds of things that are illegal, scamming and stuff, which is what she did. She said she went to jail, served probation. Now she's trying to make something of herself, help other people in her community, help people in the family. And she's saying it was the Trump tax cuts that is helping her in her business. She's a capitalist. She's conservative. She's black. She's a woman. And she's just making it happen. And that is absolutely so encouraging to see. But anyways, I just love the dynamics of this group. This is it's really nice to see this and react to it and whatever. So this was part 2 of the Vice debates, black conservatives versus black liberals. And you've been watching the Dr. Nasser Sheikh Show. I've been your guest host. My name is Dr. Nasser. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel. Please, come on, subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Like, share, and follow us. Comment down below. Where do you fall on that political spectrum? And I'll leave you with my final thought, which is, when you're right, you're right. And when you're left, you're wrong. We'll see you again next time, folks. Take care and stay safe.